In the 1950s, buying furniture meant showroom prices, pushy sales staff, and a delivery bill that could rival your rent. Then a Swedish teenager, shut out by rivals and desperate to survive, made customers do the heavy lifting, literally. The world called it a hassle. IKEA called it a revolution. What most people never realized was that the inconvenience was actually their brilliant trick. How did passing the work onto shoppers turn a local mail-order startup into a global retail empire? Ingvar Kamprad launched IKEA in 1943 from his family farm in the rural forests of Småland, Sweden. At just 17, Kamprad saw opportunity not in the city, but in the countryside, where most Swedes lived far from department stores and had little extra to spend. He started small, mailing out catalogs that offered pens, wallets, and picture frames, promising reliable delivery to the most isolated villages. The name IKEA came from his initials and the farm and village where he grew up, Elmtared and Agunared. Swedish winters were long, roads were rough, and furniture shopping meant a costly trip to town, if you could afford it at all. Kamprad's early catalogs, first printed in 1951, worked around these barriers. They let families order from home, bypassing the need for fancy showrooms or expensive sales staff. Milk trucks and local postmen delivered the goods, saving on overhead and passing those savings along as lower prices. This system was not just thrift, it was survival. Rural Sweden was a place where every krona counted. By focusing on mail order and cutting out the middlemen, Kamprad built a business that could reach people the big city stores ignored. The catalog became IKEA's first tool for scaling up and for making furniture affordable for the many, not just the few. By the mid-1950s, Ingvar Kamprad faced a blockade that threatened to destroy everything he had built. Sweden's furniture industry operated as a tightly knit cartel, with manufacturers and retailers working together to keep prices high and control who could sell what. IKEA's low prices and growing catalog made it a target. The cartel responded with a simple threat. Any supplier who sold to IKEA would lose business with every other retailer in the country. Most suppliers, fearing for their survival, cut ties overnight. The pressure did not stop there. Trade fairs, the main way to find new partners and showcase products, closed their doors to IKEA. Kamprad's company was left isolated, unable to buy materials or even display its goods to the industry. Swedish trade journals chronicled the standoff, with one article calling it a Cold War in the furniture business. Behind closed doors, cartel leaders sent letters and made phone calls to enforce the boycott. For IKEA, the supply lines dried up almost completely between 1955 and 1960. Kamprad refused to back down or raise prices. Instead, he began searching for new ways to keep his business alive. This crisis forced IKEA to rethink how furniture could be made, stored, and delivered. The urgency to survive would soon push the company toward a solution that no one in the Swedish furniture world had seen before. March 1953 brought a quiet but radical change to the pages of IKEA's catalog. Among the familiar spreads of chairs and sideboards, 3 new tables appeared under unfamiliar names: Delphi, Riga, and Koksa. Each was presented not as a finished, bulky object, but as a set of parts, legs, tabletops, and fittings, boxed and ready for the customer to assemble at home. For Swedish shoppers used to receiving furniture fully built, this was a strange proposition. Yet, these simple tables, inspired by a supplier in Hultsfred, who had demonstrated sturdy, easy-to-assemble fittings, offered something the market had never seen: the promise of low prices through rational distribution. By boxing the components, IKEA could pack more tables into a single truck, cut down on shipping damage, and store inventory in far less space. delivering real efficiency. The 1953 catalog did not trumpet a revolution. Instead, it quietly listed these tables alongside traditional offerings, inviting customers to try a new way of buying furniture. The gamble was clear in the catalog's details: assembly instructions, hardware lists, and a focus on utility over ornamentation. Each boxed set represented a solution to the supply crisis that had threatened IKEA's survival only months before. The debut of flat-pack tables was not just a workaround for a hostile industry. It was tangible proof that design, logistics, and customer participation could be woven into a single market-ready product. The boxed tables of 1953 turned a logistical headache into a selling point, laying the groundwork for a business model that would soon upend the entire furniture industry. Gillis Lundgren was a young designer at IKEA when a practical problem forced him to improvise. Faced with a table that would not fit into his car for a catalog shoot, he unscrewed the legs, stacked the parts, and made it work. That moment, told as legend or recorded in company lore, captured the spirit of IKEA's approach. Ordinary obstacles solved with a dose of ingenuity and a willingness to break the rules. Lundgren's solution did not come from a boardroom brainstorm. It happened on the fly, under the pressure of deadlines and limited resources. He saw that the table, once broken down, could travel farther, survive rough roads, and cost less to deliver. The idea was simple. If a designer could do it in a parking lot, a customer could do it at home. Soon, IKEA's team began to see every piece of furniture as a puzzle that could be packed flat and assembled by anyone, anywhere. The story of the table legs became more than company folklore. It spread among IKEA's designers and buyers, shaping a new way of thinking. Every product was now judged not just on looks or comfort, but on how efficiently it could be boxed, shipped, and built by the end user. Lundgren went on to design some of IKEA's most iconic pieces, but his knack for practical design, turning inconvenience into opportunity, set the tone for everything that followed. In the hands of IKEA's team, this small act of disassembly became the seed of a global system. The flat pack was not just a clever fix, it was a new philosophy. Furniture would no longer be something heavy and immovable, but something flexible, democratic, and designed for life on the move. Inside IKEA's new stores, the entire shopping experience was engineered to make customer labor effortless and inescapable. Shoppers entered through a single doorway and followed a one-way path that wound through staged rooms, each space offering a glimpse of how flat-pack furniture could fit into daily life. Instead of salespeople guiding every step, the store itself became the guide. At each display, simple pictogram manuals replaced written instructions. Clear illustrations showed exactly how every piece should be assembled at home, using a hex key and a bit of patience. These visual guides were tested and refined to work across languages and reading levels, so anyone could build a bookcase or a table. By the time customers reached the self-service warehouse at the end of the path, the expectation was set. Pick up the flat box, do the heavy lifting, and finish the job at home. Flat-pack design wasn't just a clever packaging tweak. It rewrote the economics of the entire industry. By breaking furniture down into compact boxes, IKEA could fit as much as 2.5 times more product onto a single truck compared to traditional assembled pieces. Logistics studies from the era show that this density, combined with customer assembly, slashed overall costs by an estimated 50 to 70%. These savings didn't just pad IKEA's margins. They fueled a pricing war that left competitors scrambling. Trade press from the 1960s and the 1970s captured the panic as rival retailers rushed to mimic the model, but few could match IKEA's scale or efficiency. As the number of IKEA stores grew past 400 worldwide, the flat pack system became the industry's new baseline, forcing even the most established players to rethink how furniture moved from factory to living room. Today, nearly every big box retailer borrows from IKEA's playbook, trading your time for lower prices and making self-service the norm. The real innovation was not just the furniture, it was redesigning the entire system itself. How many other industries right now are quietly shifting the work to you? Let's keep questioning convenience.